She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love, sisters? Fina D coming to you all from Vina Team and News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
We'll get your income off your square reader.
You're the only woman I know with a square reader between your legs. Thank you. Whoop.
Marlo.
Sign right here.
Marlo, what is your job?
I dated a billionaire.
Big pen. Was it?
Can I have a tissue, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you moved and you want to wipe a tear?
No, my nose is cold.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you for sharing
You're welcome.
all
Thank
that.
you for letting me open up.
It's called
Well,
damage.
I do think.
Girl. That Kenya Moore, man, she had me on the floor last night. Oh my goodness. And as you can see, once again, Kenya Moore was trending during the reunion, and after the reunion, she brought laughter and she held the miserable people accountable. You will see more comments on the screen because you already know if I sit here and read every single one of them, we will be here all night. And they seeing that I had every intention of posting this right after the reunion, but I decided, you know what, let's just post it today because I already knew that last night would have been rushed. Of course, Kenya's face card never declines, my God. Back to Kenya dragging miserable Marlo. Kenya have warned these girls and told them over and over again, don't come for me unless I send for you. Now, my laughter, honestly, isn't about the read. My laughter comes from the fact that Marlo never learns her lesson and thinks she can go toe-to-toe with Kenya. Even though, yes, she's admitted, you know what, yes, Kenya can read and all of that. It's just hilarious to watch her even attempt to go after Kenya in any way because she knows that she can't handle Kenya. That's where my laughter is coming from. Because the whole square reader read, yeah, that was borderline, going there with Marlo, hitting her where it hurt because Marlo always goes below the belt. So when they go that far, I'm not here for it at all. But my laughter is coming from, girl, just give it up because you knew Kenya Moore is going to hold you accountable. Like I said in my last review last week, I said it over and over again. I'm looking forward to part 2 so that Kenya Moore can do Andy Cohen's job for him because he's allowing favoritism. Like I said in the Fallon video, if you missed it, click the very first link in the description below. I also said it in the Fallon video that Andy Cohen is allowing favoritism to ruin the show, and he's sabotaging the show. He stuck his neck out for Marlo, and now he wants to prove to people that he wasn't wrong with his investment when it comes to finally giving Marlo a peach. She was offered a peach in the beginning of her being on the show. She turned it down, and then when they learned more about her, they said absolutely not, we would not give her a peach. So Andy Cohen, Candy Burrs, even Kenya Moore, they all vouched for her to finally get a peach since Two of the ladies were no longer on the show. She was given a peach, and now look at what she did. So all Andy Cohen did last week, like I also said, he set the stage and did this whole sympathy routine with Marlo, and his hope was that the audience won't be so harsh on her, on Bravo, and him. They would watch the reunion, part one, and be like, you know what? I now understand and see why Marlo do the things that she does. I get it. And because of that, I'm going to show her grace. But absolutely not. Social media dragged Marlo and Andy because they are seeing the hypocrisy. This is so interesting, all this grace Marlo is getting from Andy. We've known Marlo for 10 plus years, and it's the same behavior, and this PR stunt is stupid. Kenya was chastised for years for having literally the same trauma as Marlo. Hashtag RHOA. So, of course, this is not really a drag. It's facts, okay? But like I said, there are so many comments out there where people went in on him and Marlo. But I just want to focus on what I have to talk about so that I can upload a video today, because when I focus on screenshots and posting all of these tweets and all of these different comments, that's the reason why I be 5 days late uploading my review, okay? And I don't want that to happen, so let's continue. People also called out how he rushed through Kenya Moore segments and other segments. Andy's moving through questions too fast. He's keeping the ladies from hashing things out. It feels like he's borderline doing PR for Marlo. He's cutting Drew off. The cast is ready to deliver, and he's hindering them. I'm tired.
Face bullshit.
What did I say? Yep, sabotaging what used to be their top-rated franchise. From changing the times, I understand, I get it. COVID happened, all of those things happened. But we are used to the Real Housewives of Atlanta being filmed and coming on a certain time. Just everything about the show is messed up. And it's not just this season. He's been doing it for a while now, jumping on the wrong team, showing favoritism, which in return, he's hurting the very people who are the reason why the Real Housewives of Atlanta was their top-rated franchise, the viewers. Look at this person's name, Latoya Square Rita Hutchins. So, I have to be honest. This was basically a Save Marlo's Peach reunion. I have so much to say about this part 2. Exactly. And what's even more disgusting is the woman that he keeps on, okay, I had to bleep myself, is the reason why the reunion was saved. It's the reason why any fireworks was flying. It's the reason why anyone was held accountable. Once again, Kenya Moore saves the day. And that's the reason why Kenya Moore is still there, because it doesn't matter how hard he tries. Those people behind the scenes are like, okay, we might not be here for her, but she's good TV and she's not going anywhere. And they know that. Andy ruined the RHOA reunion. Andy bleeped it up. Kenya was the only humor at the reunion. Andy kept going back to Marlo's trauma dump to try to excuse a 46-year-old woman's behavior. There are no consequences or resolution because Andy doesn't want Marlo to suffer consequences. Hashtag RHOA. But thanks to Kenya Moore, Marlo felt something because Kenya got her so good to the point where she started screaming that Kenya was a liar and all of that. Marlo, you're supposed to scream so that your scream could overpower what Kenya was saying so the audience didn't get to hear your tea. You allow her to say everything and then started screaming, you're a liar. And if you watch the reunion, you know, she went off. Kenya got her so good. I mean, Kenya was just helping Marlo finish the story. Okay, we heard the sad part, but then what did you do? And Marlo could have absolutely flipped it. She tried to, but it was too late and she went to anger instead of just flipping it. Yes, based on my terrible childhood, that led me to make bad decisions. As you all are aware, I'm not proud of them. I mean, just finish the story. That's it. Don't just stop at the part about, oh, this happened to me and that happened to me. and then stop it. Like, go on, finish the story. Talked about the woman face that you slashed. May her soul rest in peace. Finish it. So that's all Kenya did. She simply helped her finish the story. Also, I would hope if and when someone is going to go through all that trouble to change their name, of course they're going to have it changed as well on their birth certificate. Research it. You can absolutely change your name on your birth certificate. To change the name of somebody over the age of 1, you are required to petition the local county court to get permission for the legal name change, and then you can submit the birth certificate correction form. The procedure to legally change your name on your birth certificate varies from state to state. In some states, for example, California, you are required to publish a notice of your name change petition in a local newspaper and explain to the court why you want to change your name. To obtain permission from a court of law for the name change on your birth certificate, you must first file a petition, pay the processing fee, and attend a hearing to explain your reasons for the change. If your name change is due to adoption, you must also provide documentation to support your claim, such as an adoption decree, which establishes the reason for changing your name. Once you do that process, then you go to amend your birth certificate. How do you amend your birth certificate? Once a judge has approved your name change, you must then petition the Vital Records Office of either the state or the county where the birth occurred to amend the birth certificate. To complete your application, you must provide a certified copy of the court order and a certified copy of the original birth certificate. You will also be required to pay a filing fee to amend the vital records. Once the birth certificate is amended, you will receive a new copy of the birth certificate reflecting the name change. Some states will issue a document reflecting the legal name change and attach it to the original birth certificate, keeping it on file. Other states will create a new birth certificate altogether, which is especially important when dealing with name changes in closed adoption cases. However, in most cases, the original birth certificate will be kept in a sealed file by the Vital Records Office and may only be accessed with a judge's consent or with a subpoena. You can also modify your parents' name on a birth certificate. So the people who are so quick to say, are you all going to apologize to Marlo? Kenya Moore is a liar. Marlo showed her birth certificate. Google is free. The information is free. When will you all learn that Kenya Moore is always vindicated? You can absolutely change your name on your birth certificate. Also, the reunion wasn't and isn't the place where I learned that Marlo name isn't Marlo. I mean, this information been out there for years. Of course, if you're going to change your name, you will cover all of your basics to change your name. Countless of articles been out there for years. Marlo changed her name. And Marlo could have flipped this whole thing. I don't know why she continues to lie. I mean, Marlo lies within the moment. And then when Bravo does the flashback, then she sits there and smiles through it with this nervous look on her face. She lies so much. She could have simply said, based on everything that happened to me, I just wanted to forget that girl and forget that person. Turn over a new leaf in a new life, entering this new chapter with my name being Marlo Hampton. LaToya went through so much pain. I will never forget the pain that LaToya went through, but Marlo Hampton, she could have flipped it and put a bow on it and made it sound so amazing. But here she goes lying that her name was never that when it was. And lastly, about the name change, people do it all the time. Do you know how many entertainers that you know by their stage name that is not their real name. People be laughing all the time if, someone get arrested or something happened, a court case, and people are like, wait, that's that person's real name? Really? Exactly. So it's like, why lie? And the thing is, it doesn't matter how many years it takes. Kenya Moore is always vindicated. So it's like, girl, it's okay, LaToya. It's all good. Drew and Sanya's reaction in that moment was priceless. But the information has been out there for years. And then Marlo even admitted it. Like, she admitted everything, and she didn't even catch herself. She'd be lying in the moment. Bravo would turn around and remind her with a flashback. When she was talking about going to college and different things and the check fraud and different things that she did admit to LaToya being her name. She didn't even catch that. She's a hot mess. But the people did. But Marlo just called Kenya a liar and screamed that Kenya should apologize, but then went on to confirm everything Kenya just said once Andy asked her. Exactly my point. But let's move on. Good for Kenya to call out Marlo for unremorsefully disfiguring that woman's face. That lady eventually committed, Marlo is evil. May that lady's soul rest in peace. I enjoyed Kenya this season. She was so much fun, and it was nice to see her vulnerable side. Marlo can't expect people to be sensitive to her story if she gonna turn around and act a fool every time. She had Andy's sympathy and then couldn't help herself taking a dig at Kenya. Hurt people hurt people. Are the mirrors in your house broken, girl? I can't with you. That's why I said she needs help. The lights are not on up there. Andy is giving Marlo way too much grace. He's just kissing her behind while she was justifying her poor treatment of everyone. She needs professional help, not a peach. Come on, somebody. She clearly has no intention of making positive change. Professional help, not a peach. And as you can see on the screen, social media did not let up calling Andy Cohen out for what he was doing on that stage. The only thing this reunion is proving is that Kenya should have been sitting next to Andy, and Marlo shouldn't even be on the couch. No questions will be answered. No resolution to anything, and Andy needs to retire as a host. I wasn't here for the reunion part 2, so I'm just going to be all over the place. Sheree, I'm not sure why Kenya keeps referring to Sheree as her friend. Kenya doesn't need Sheree to stay on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sheree is not helping her storyline. She doesn't need Sheree for anything. So I don't understand how this woman is playing right in your face, and here you go calling her your friend. You can kiki with her. You don't have to use that F word around her, call her your friend. She literally sat there in your face and said a man standing up and cursing at you because his anger and his wife's anger was towards you and not her, wasn't aggressive. But then in calling a black man aggressive is wrong. But then in the same breath said that she told Sanya to come after you because you can be aggressive. And you're sitting there jokingly laughing with her. I would have put Sheree in her place. She's not your friend. I understand Kenya peeped it. But still, stop calling her your friend. So these women, not Kenya's quite fresh. So these women have no issues calling Kenya a black woman aggressive on that stage. But where they draw the line is when she calls out a black man who she felt was aggressive. These women are such birds. Exactly.
Me, I'm out of here right now.
Everybody sees the hypocrisy. Kenya showed Sanya's husband some grace last night. And you know what? That's why she will continue to be blessed. But I completely see and understand why Sheree tolerates the type of men that she does. Not saying anyone deserves anything that they've gone through. Sheree didn't deserve her issues and situations. But for her to be the one to say Kenya Moore can be aggressive, even though Kenya never ever just comes for people, she defends herself against the aggressor. But Sheree was so calm and quick to call her aggressive and laughing, but yet a black man standing up and cursing at a black, oh no, he's not aggressive. And then Kenya saying it and laughing. No. That's when all the laughter and calling her your friend, all of that stops. And then you use that time to set her straight and put her in her place. But Kenya was also laughing because Sheree is a jerk. How dare you call me aggressive when I'm defending myself, but a man that we did not do anything to. We were talking to his wife, sitting down in a calm way. We were not yelling at her, attacking her, screaming at her. He disrespected us. And in your words, he wasn't aggressive, but I am. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and laugh at you because you're a fool and a clown right now. That's what that laughter was about. So I understand why she didn't, check Sheree that way. I mean, she did check her in a way, but she had laughter behind it. But yeah, Sheree is a clown. And like that person wrote a bird. Exactly. Their words, not mine. Okay, let's continue. Because that wasn't cool at all. And of course, Andy wanted to rush through it and move on. Hot mess. Andy breezing through the reunion as if his notifications are blowing up. We are yet to have one question fully answered or fleshed out. They are flying through everybody's segment, but allowing Marlo to go on 5 minutes monologues. Andy, I don't like it. Epic fail. But I also think that Andy went above and beyond for Marlo because when you contribute to someone's downfall, then you want to step in and help save them. Yes, Marlo is a grown woman and she did what she did and said what she said. But I won't be surprised if the producers behind the scenes told her, now we've given you a peach. Do what you need to do. If you have to take this person down and go after this person and go after that person, you go ahead and do it. And when it backfired, they feel like they owe her. They have this responsibility to save her because they were also in her ear to go above and beyond with being messy and the villain, and it backfired. So now they're trying to help her out because they're not trying to get another lawsuit. Not that Marlo is going to win anything because that girl over there did not win anything from Bravo. But yeah, so that's also what's going on here. This is why Kenya said the reunion was meh. This week bleep sob story from Marlo is exhausting. Andy didn't do his job good and he was aiming for damage control. The investment in Marlo was trash. Stop calling Drew your friend. She's not your friend either. Both of you are cool. She was cool with you this season because she needed someone in her corner. Let's see how she behaves when that woman comes back, if that woman comes back. But for the most part, she's not your friend. She's your co-worker. Stop using that word so loosely. Saying Porsha's name once during the show and then bringing her up during the reunion is a perfect opening to her return because now she can come back and start with, when I wasn't on the show, you kept bringing me up, you kept talking about me, and there's her storyline right there. And of course, trying to convince herself, the public, and the I told you so people that whatever she have going on with that man is real. Just my opinion. We were always right every time we be like, Kenya, be careful with this person. Exactly. They come back and stab her in the back. And you know what? Kenya know these people personally. We don't. So, hey, I'm just giving my opinion, but she's a grown woman. She can do what she wants to do. But shout out to Drew for shutting Marlo down when Marlo tried to flip it and make it look like Kenya wanted to be her friend to get information about Porsha, when the last time I checked, Kenya was upstairs in the room minding her business, and Cynthia Bailey brought Marlo with her, begging Kenya to have a conversation with Marlo during that season. As Marlo apologized again, it was begging Kenya to be her friend. Now, I will understand if Kenya was the one who ran to miserable Marlo to be her friend just to get information about Porsha because Marlo's room was closer. But that's not what happened. You went to Kenya on that trip begging for her to be your friend. So how is it that she wanted information from you and then you went and volunteered the information? Kenya is right. Marlo is the one who threw Porsha under the bus. She brought it up, kept asking about it, and then stopped being friends with her. I don't know why Marlo behaved like we didn't watch the show. Like when she sits there and be like, I didn't say that about your husband or your... And then Bravo does a flashback. Like you can't be that sick in the head where you forget things like that. But let's continue. So Drew, thank you for shutting her down and saying, you told me as well to not be cool with Porsha. This is the classic case of because there's a rumor out there, even though it's a lie, when I don't rock with you, it's okay to lean into that rumor because the gullible supporters of the Real Housewives of Atlanta will believe it because it's you. But times have changed, and because Kenya Moore has been vindicated from all of the lies, people are not quick to jump to conclusion anymore. We are all aware that Porsha Williams admires Kenya Moore. All of them do. The Marlo, all of them. They're obsessed with Kenya. They want to be her friend. But being her friend isn't beneficial for them as speech holders. So they think, which is a huge misconception. Because at the beginning of this season, oh my goodness, Drew was getting dragged left and right. And then Sanya decided to be a flip-flopper and a hypocrite without any valid reasons. She still can't give a valid reason why she's not friends with Drew. Which was also displayed that night in Jamaica where I screenshot this image from that episode when Kenya Moore was basically sitting pretty, looking stunning like this and asking her, give me a reason. Exactly. And she couldn't. So her flip-flopper ways led the audience to flip on her and she got dragged. The thing here is this. Yes, the audience, they do love the drama. But they love it when it's real, when it's genuine, when it's authentic. When it seems forced and manufactured, that's when they want absolutely nothing to do with it. And you, when they realize and notice that you're reaching and you're doing everything to save your peach, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's the reason why Marlo was dragged this season. And that's the reason why Sanya was dragged and people flip on her, because she couldn't give a valid reason for why she was doing the things that she was doing to Drew and Kenya. And then being friends with miserable Marlo didn't help her case either, because there's absolutely no way you can excuse the behavior of that monster and call her your friend. Defend her, even though you just met her 2 seconds ago, because you want to prove to her that, hey, look at me. I said something, in your defense during a reunion. That means I have your back. Even though you just met her 2 seconds ago, completely dismissing what she's doing to the other girls, but yet you want to have this issue with Drew. You want to speak about integrity. You want to speak about all of these things, but you are friends with a monster? Girl, bye. So that right there sealed the deal for the public that she was a flip-flopper and she was reaching and doing anything to save her peach. And I get it. When you move your entire family, sister, husband, and everybody else included, you would do anything in your power to make sure the job that led you to move your entire family. Of course, you would do whatever it takes to keep that job. And that's what she's doing. There was no miscommunication. Sanya, you wanted to highlight how single Kenya was, so you can basically kiki with Marlo and Sheree. Exactly. And she didn't want that smoke, so she went ahead and apologized. Just a hot mess. The same woman that wanted us to show Marlo grace because of what she was going through and the excuses with her nephews and all of these things is the same woman who wasn't willing to show Kenya more grace, even though she's going through her situation currently. My point, that's the reason why no one takes Sanya seriously. She's a hypocrite. Everything I've been saying, reaching for a storyline, desperate for a storyline, started a feud with Kenya Moore for a storyline because she realized her situation with Drew wasn't going anywhere and she still can't give a valid reason why she's upset with Drew. Sanya and Drew, they had their moment. Not really here for it. Don't care. Sheree and Drew, same old different day. As far as Drew assistant or former assistant flipping on her and going on Sheree's side. As if we didn't see him on an episode admitting to everything Drew is saying. So even if he wanted to lie, it was in an episode. So that's that. That's why you always have to pay attention to people like that. People get so caught up in the tea and, oh, he's hilarious and, oh, this, that, and they don't pay attention to patterns. If you are so open and comfortable to tell me other people's business, their personal business, what makes you think I'm going to trust you and tell you my business? Exactly. So nothing to see here. Of course, they brought up all of the little lies Drew and her husband got caught up in, asking her to also verify, did he play this sport and did this and you didn't know what gaslighting was, yeah. Throwaway items that I don't care to talk about. Sanya needs a new storyline, seeing how her flip-flopping and flip-flopper ways led her to get so much hate on social media. She went from being this celebrated 4-time gold Olympic, oh, we're so happy she's coming, to get her off the show. So now she and her husband are on the same page and they're going to try to have another kid. Hey, like I said, she have to make this whole thing work. Moving right along, I said exactly what Kenya said. When you watch the show and you see these women patterns and how they move, it's very easy to understand what they're going to say. I said the reason why going to Sanya event was so important to Kenya, of course Sheree wanted to go, is because Sanya was disappointed in her the day before. She pulled her aside, had this long conversation. Kenya opened up to her. Kenya really thought they had a real, genuine, they were building some form of friendship. She didn't know that Sanya was going in confessionals and trashing her vulnerable moments, okay? And so she wanted to be there for her. She wanted to show her that I do value what we're building here. I do respect you, your time and all of that. And then for you to just go in confessionals, trash talk her, invite Sheree back, but don't invite her, direct all of your anger towards her, even though Sheree was the one who came to you and encouraged you to be aggressive and go after Kenya. Exactly. And that's the reason why she will continue to be dragged if she keeps this going. She is such a hypocrite. In the same way she said, oh, Sheree and Kenya could have just let it go, it's the same way she could have simply said, you know what, Sheree and Kenya, especially Kenya, I apologize because you didn't invite Kenya the next day. So, Kenya, I apologize for the miscommunication. But you apologized to Sheree. You invited her the next day. She was late. She claimed the driver was lost. You had no issues for her not being there for your entire shoot. You accepted what she said about the driver being lost. But then Kenya got nothing. But had Kenya said the driver was lost, you would have said Kenya Moore was lying. So that's the issue that people are having with Sanya. And that's the difference between them and Kenya. If Kenya is not here for you, she's going to stand on it. She's not going to play all of these games and, try to find these excuses and reach to prove a point. She's going to stand on it. And that's the reason why you didn't have anything to give to her when she asked you, exactly, what is your issue with me? You had to scratch your head and try to find one because you didn't have one. You were just creating one to keep your peach. And from what I'm hearing, it looks like it worked. Anyways, let's move on. Andy asking Drew questions about, some of the lies she told and trying to hold her accountable. Nothing to see here. Drew and Sheree still going back and forth. Hot mess. Candy wanting to know who wrote, at Brooklyn's party on the paper that she was doing stuff in locker rooms. Of course, Sheree once again laughed her way through it. Didn't own up to it. I like this comment. Kenya Detroit Summer Moore is clocked the bleep in and I'm here for it. She ain't let up on Marlo since we've begun. Somebody had to clocked in since Andy Cohen clocked out. So I'm here for that. I'm going to leave the other comments on the screen as I end the video. And if you think I missed anything important, just let me know and I'll talk about it in the next review. But, at this point, I'm over it, so I want to end it right here. And the men comes out next. I know some of you are saying, why do we need a part 3? I understand the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But you have to give the husbands, their flowers and some shine, especially Drew's husband, okay? He held it down. He helped their storyline this season, too. Todd did his thing as well. And of course, there were other important moments. But when I said Kenya Moore held miserable Marlo accountable and Andy Cohen attempted to hold her accountable in hopes that people would take it easy on her after his whole sympathy tour, that's what I meant. I don't want to say everything out loud because we'll be here for over an hour. But I love the moment when they basically said, you knowing your history and everything you've been through, then why did you do the same thing to your nephews? And like I said, I understand. I would rather her do that than to snap and then do something that she will regret. We talked about that. They also talked about, the foster care and the girls and her not accepting, the clothes that Candy gave. And yeah, so all of those moments were important. But like I said, that was my point when I said she was held accountable. And of course, she danced around the questions. She made excuses. Same old, a different day. If you remember the Instagram live that I posted with Sheree and that man in New York, then you are aware that he was with her during the reunion. They've already said his name, and he talked to him on FaceTime, so hopefully he's not the one that's coming out, and especially not the one Andy is referring to Sheree have a treat. Oh, goodness. Disgusting. Anyways, but if he is, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been calling it for a while. Sheree will do anything for $1. So we shall see. It doesn't matter to me. Of course, Kenya Moore crying about the reason why she wanted to do Dancing with the Stars was very important. The only reason why I did not talk about it in the beginning was because Kenya have said this before, and I've talked about it before, and I've made different videos about it. So that's the only reason why. But since she brought it up again at the reunion, I do want to acknowledge that. She's your angel, Kenya. She's watching over you and Brooklyn. And because of her, you had stability. But that's the thing about Kenya. She's not going to go low when it comes to that whole mother situation, even though she could have shut Marlo up a long time ago. And when Kenya said, I heard from a friend of a friend that is a 10. She was courting a Doja Cat, okay? But of course, if Sheree is going to go around blasting Tyron, whatever, then what makes you think she's not going to blast Mattel? Exactly. Just TMI, disgusting. Anyways, I'm wishing all of you well and take care. If you're not left, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also, turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.